Well, that does it for game number 1, guys. Game number 2 on its way now. Let's see how Paradigm is able to answer Fnatic as they win that team fight. Let's go to the picks and bans.
Picks and bans again. Take into account, like I said, last split, these two faced Fnatic did win 2-0. And so far, so good for them.
Hey,
They're up 1-0.
and remember, a 2-0 here puts
some even with
Fnatic
Paradigm.
tied for second with Paradigm.
Yep, and Titan are classed as third after their defeat in the second game yesterday with that amazing end, I guess we'll call it. End or throw, whichever way you want to call it.
End.
We called it a throw yesterday.
It was a pretty
It was a
throw.
pretty good throw. Afro banned out by Fnatic there. Will Paradigm ban away Hell is the question. We've seen it banned away multiple times. This split in EU. But Khepri will be the first one. Not a shock to see that being taken off the table.
You know, Khepri, Aphrodite, frustrating to play against, really the name of the game there. A lot of times that's what we see removed. Now, will we see the Hell banned here? That's got to be what Fnatic, yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's the Hell ban. So Khepri banned by Paradigm. The response ban is always situational.
Yeah, well, is it Circuit, Sun Wukong?
Not only Circuit nowadays, isn't it? We see more and more Circuit bans. People starting to realize the strength against the healing comps. There you go. It will be the one banned away. Fnatic do have option here. Will they take Sun Wukong away from TrixTank this time? Or will they not worry so much about it?
I think Osiris is a very strong pick still as well. I mean, Circuit's being banned out because of her mobility and damage potential, but also because of the anti-healer she can bring to the table with how good healers are right now. But Osiris and Odin being the other two that really have that 100% healing reduction in their kit, and Odin is very hard to fit effectively in team comps, where Osiris is just an excellent solo lane.
Yeah, Odin's normally one that we see picked up when we see most of the comp already established because of the fact that they've got no escapes. So they're like, okay, Blink, that's cool. The only way they can escape is Blink, like Xaliea as well. But Janus going to get their... Sorry, Fnatic going to get Janus for the mid lane for Zyhroes once again. Not a surprise there. This time, though, we're going to see QvoFred playing Thor more than likely in the jungle. Unless we see something out of Paradigm similar to what Titan did yesterday and won Thor support.
I hope not. It was pretty bad.
Some Wukong's picked up, so it's probably going to be going over to Trix there.
Well, that was a dual lane they ran, more or less. It was Guan Yu plus Thor, but...
I think Guan Yu makes that work, though.
It does, yeah. The healing really helps. Conviction, a very, very good spell. But I said this a lot yesterday, right? Like, these tier 2 teams... like, always first pick Janus for their mid laner. But now we're going to see Fnatic, who I would say is maybe on the bottom end, but still kind of a tier 1 team in Smite. Well, a win here probably squares them pretty securely as a tier 1 team, so this split. Also first picking the Janus, and it just shows you the strength of this god. And once again, Fnatic is going to draft this global composition. And
they go with Athena again, which is the one thing that's really key here, because we've not seen too much Athena so far this split from either side of the regions. Only a couple of games played between them, but Badgah, both games, going to be picking this one up. It worked last game, so why change things up? A new War locked in this time, though, for more than likely the mid lane Paradigm LAwbster.
Speaking of global.
Global in response. There's globals everywhere this game.
There is globals everywhere this game, and yeah.
Do you reckon we'll see the Apollo come out for Funballer?
Oh, Freya's available here. If Freya makes it to the banning phase, probably not.
Well, Humbat's taken away.
I think that will be the ban for Fnatic, by the way. Will be the Freya. It's either Freya or support.
I love the fact they banned Humbat's away here from Twig, who's actually not played it at all this season.
Yeah, that's a strange choice.
I've not seen them ban it away.
Granted, Humbat's is pretty good against Thor, right? Because it's that long duration CC that makes it hard to hammer. But
it's Humbat's and Circuit that have really good.
Thor's an interesting character insofar as that you almost never see Thor you never pick or ban to accommodate your Thor, right? Your Thor is basically a martyr, and it always has and always will be kind of yeah, he's probably going to get a lot of deaths. If he doesn't, he's going to take the game over, and this is going to be someone called Guan Yu duo lane. Paradigm's going to bring the funk.
Do you reckon they're going to bring the funk?
They're bringing the funk.
That could be Guan Yu solo. It could be Sun Wukong.
Nah,
solo.
It's Thor solo lane for Xaliea, Sun Wukong, and Guan Yu duo.
I'm calling Freya last pick. I'm calling Freya last pick.
And yeah, you see the tier come out in response.
The tier pick in response is just smart from what they need from him. He can't be CC'd for too long. A. And B, his laning phase is pretty strong in terms of just sustain. Very hard to pick off because of Lawbringer as well. Hard to kill even if you're against a Thor, and naturally defensive because of his stance change.
Nope, Freya was selected on the side of Fnatic, where they will be running.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that
tier jungle.
This is a big stretch here, but I think there's a chance that we'll see tier 1v2 the two warriors at the duo if they go for that.
That's a real stretch. And Chronos is the last pick.
And that makes Ram your solo laner, Freya your mid laner, Athena your jungler.
Okay.
What's going on here? It's madness.
I'm going to call Funballer Chronos with some Wukong. Guan Yu solo for Xaliea. In response, I think we're going to see Freya jungle here and Tyr solo. Freya jungle, Tyr solo.
Athena jungle, Rom Freya duo.
I'm just waiting to find out that these aren't the right picks.
Yeah. I'm just waiting. Yeah. Oh, actually, they didn't luck in Guan Yu. It was chalk.
Well, we're into game.
Here we go. What's it going to be? Funballer as Guan Yu, TrixTank as Sun Wukong, Xaliea solo laning. And yeah, they're going to try to fight into this with...
I got Fnatic's comp, right? But I didn't
Fnatic just went standard here with a Freya jungle.
Yeah, well, Freya jungle is not really standard anymore.
I got standard with a Freya jungle. And then a whole bunch of shenanigans on the side of Paradigm.
A whole bunch. I mean, Xaliea going to be playing Chronos in the solo lane up against Tyr. And TrixTank and Funballer, where they're going to do the Bruise Brothers squad that we saw come out of Titan yesterday. And had a really, really strong, nasty time. But this time, though, they're up against Rama. And Rama should be pretty safe here. It's similar to what when they banned away Neef last time, Titan, right? Against this, because they didn't want to face Neef.
Yeah.
He's very safe. Rama has the same sort of thing, though, of escapability.
I don't know about Chronos here. Runic Shield just destroys everything Chronos wants to do in life.
So you just rush Runic Shield and...
Yeah, it's like there goes 50 power and your attack speed, and now what do you actually do, Chronos?
Well,
and he says, I got 6 items and I don't care.
This is Xaliea, and he kind of just pull out these crazy picks sometimes where you're like, okay, let's just pick Chronos in with this composition. They do need more magical damage as well, just to deal, because they've got 2 warriors and an assassin on the side. They've got Nuwa and Chronos, so the late game hyper carry is still there for them, which is important for them. I want to know what Funballer's Guan is
Yeah, but
like,
I mean, Chronos can't out-carry Freya and Rom.
See, here's the one thing that I'm interested to see is Funballer always plays Hunters.
Look at the start from Paradigm. Left mids into invade. Do they have the timing right? I think they're going to be just a hair late.
Going to be close.
Yeah, just a little bit too late and not going to be able to fight here with the 2 warriors. So their clear time just a little bit deficient on those left camps. Means they can't fight
They should hit level 2 about the same time, though.
They should, yeah. The experience will be all the same, but they don't get that invade they were looking for with those 2 very, very powerful warriors. But their wave clear is just...
insane.
Oh, it's so silly.
And now they can just walk back up and do their purple buff. They're not going to get aggressed on here by the Fnatic. Fnatic want to play this lane mainly safe for the most part.
No, I mean, when they go back and they take their purple buff, that's like... It feels real good to be Fnatic at the moment. They're like, we don't have to deal with harass for a second. We can play up in the lane. We can, like...
I can get some
I can alt-tab and check my Twitter. Like, I'm not getting hit by Jingle Bangs every 9 seconds.
So Paradigm now in a decent spot. I want to see how Funballer plays this, though, because to be fair, Comfrey, he used to play solo a lot of the time. That made sense with him picking the Guan Yu. Funballer, he's a hunter player, right? We've never really seen him on anything other than hunters. Maybe the odd mage that is classed as a hunter in some regards. Chronos, Freya, but since that, on a warrior, we'll see. Because generally when we've seen hunters do this and they're not used to that sort of thing, it doesn't really work out very well.
No, Guan Yu's not the most sophisticated character in the world to play. He's actually really, really difficult to play exceptionally well, but to play like very good, you pretty much just Talus all the wave and heal a lot. You know, and then it really comes down to decision making with your ultimate later on in the game, and that's really where you're gonna see the make or break out of Mr. Funballer. As the laning phase is just not that hard, assuming that you are effectively zoning with your Sun Wukong.
This is the thing you get out of the Paradigm dual lane as well. They're able to push up the wave, look for the back harpies. Unfortunately, they're down. They're trying to invade and steal away jungle as much as possible. You see even QvoFred so confident with his support that he can just roam around the backside and look to steal away back harpies this side.
It was spotted by Zyhroes, though.
I don't think Zyhroes can really do anything about this. They might try and collapse.
He can steal one.
He wants that big one. No, we're not going to get it.
He'll get it. Fred's going to move forward, banished out. The rest of the team was trying to follow up there as well. Now it's Guan Yu, 1v2, however, and still winning the lane.
Right, it's Guan Yu. He's Tallow Assault, like you said, and then Conviction there, walk away, and everything's good. He's level 4. He'll hit level 5 a little bit quicker, too, because he's getting solo experience here. So that'll keep him even safer, because he can just jump on the horse if in danger. And TrixTank, well, doing what he does on Sun Wukong and rotating around very,
if anyone even gets to like 3/4 HP here, they're going to die. The new fire shards plus all the harass out of the warriors, and they'll just run them down with the ultimates as well. And better believe they'll die at the tower here with that Sun Wukong decoy plus
Thor as well, right? So they can still... This is the comp that we saw from Titan. Thor in the jungle, Guan Yu, and Sun Wukong, and they can just go, okay, 3, 2, 1, and all ult and dead.
Yeah, and they even got the new which is really the dream. Yeah. I mean, it just sets up... Just really... I mean, anytime that someone tries to like man up versus the Guan Yu, the new ultimate comes through and ruins that.
Devastates him indeed. So 3 minutes in, no one's dead just yet, but we are reaching level 5 on everybody right about now, which is where you'll see most of the aggression start happening. Keep an eye on Fnatic to try and ward up the Gold Fury area. They've got to be scared of QvoFred going aggressive here. Good news is, though, Realzx will have his ultimate, I feel, before they put any more pressure onto him, so he can also get out of combat. He's not got beads online yet, though, which he's going to need to get very soon.
Funballer's got the timing right for the purple buff here. It'll be up right now. Will he turn the corner and confirm that, though, is the question. The left camps are coming up as well. They'll be secured by Paradigm. Right camps about 15 seconds out as well. Looks like, yeah, they will go ahead and aggress into this purple buff. Funballer just happily going to zone away.
Well, Freya is here as well. Twig's around, so is Qvo, so we're going to see a 3v3 fight for this purple, but I think
I don't think they're going to fight.
Won't be here in time. Will they look at resetting it? TrixTank does avoid some of the damage from Pulse, but that banish is going to keep it alive for a second. Who's going to get the buff? Stolen through space and time. Zyhroes secures.
Hey, you know, global ultimates are good for a lot of things. Securing your purple buff, getting a pentakills, you know.
Yeah, getting pentakills, security buff. Job done.
Yeah, you did the things.
So everything's still even for the most part. Paradigm do have a small experience and gold advantage, though they're farming a little bit more efficiently right now, sharing the camps a little bit more. Because of the mid camps more than anything else, is the reason we're seeing this small lead for them.
Well, see, Paradigm is farming very well. The lane control is great, but they aren't getting very much like god pressure out on the Fnatic. That's the big difference between watching Paradigm run this and Titan run this. Is the Titan was constantly aggressing the heroes and forcing them out of the lane. And the goal here is that some Wukong completely zones the Ram out, allowing Guan Yu to free farm and keep them out of experience range, and that just hasn't happened here. And because of that, it's not going to be that same mid-game presence. I mean, they'll be very strong once they get their items online, and they'll get them quickly, but they're not going to shut down the Ram.
This is a good pick, though, trying to force Twig into his ultimate, get that down early. They can try and find him in the jungle now. If you actually see Qvo with this Thor, get a good wall placement deep, they can find Twig and just pick him off now that he's had to use that ultimate.
But with the pressure they got, they'll go ahead and invade on the blue buff and take that down and keep that away from ManiaKK as well. So, small victory there for Paradigm. And now Ram is like online, he's got his Astral Arrows, he's getting up there, rank 2. No, rank 1's still on the Astral Arrows, just going and maxing out the attack speed steroid, actually.
Let's see what he goes with his build as well, because he looks like he's probably going to go for that Soul Eater again this game. He's started off with the boost. Generally, when we see that, he's normally going for the Soul Eater rush into full boost later on.
Now, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Ram's standardly will put more points in the Astral Arrow than just the 1.
It changes based on what you normally do is you max your 2 and then your 3 you're rolling assault because you want the cooldown reduction on your rolling assault.
Sure.
So you max your 2 for the attack speed steroid, and then it used to be 1 when he first came out, but we nerfed it so much that most people thought, well, I'll just put 1 point into it because it's not that much of an increase in damage.
Right.
Where 2
it's really the pierce you're looking for.
Well, 2 actually allows you to pick up more arrows. It increases your arrow regen game.
Arrow regen rate, yeah.
Because you'll drop arrows, and then your rolling assault, you need that for the cooldown reduction because if you get that fully max and you go into the air after rolling, your roll will be off cooldown by the time you land.
It also gives you a lot more objective potential as well with the attack speed steroid maxed out versus the arrows. That extra 20 damage per shot is not as effective as twice as many shots.
Well, this could be the gank.
Here we go. The fight's going to break out here. Now, will the cavalry charge be successful? Funballer, he's baiting it, and yeah, this is an easy kill on the Badgah. He hops on the horse and right off the horse to keep that chain CC down, and that's your first blood. Well executed by Paradigm.
But to be expected. It was executed perfectly. It was on Athena. Athena can't really do anything against that. Maybe Rama would have lived.
It was a when, not if.
Yeah,
situation.
Agreed. It was just a when, not if. The left-hand harpies are available now. We're going to see Paradigm strip those ones away as well and continue extending their golden experience lead for the time being.
I'm a little surprised to not see Freya go for the Achilles spear in the jungle. It's really, really good for jungling.
Is he just? I guess he was looking. I don't know what else could he go for as well. That's the other question, I suppose.
Oh, he went purple pot, I guess, right?
No, I mean like he could go for it now, but what would he go in his other active slot?
He's he's got his beads, yeah.
But it's like, do you go blink? I don't think you really go that much on Freya.
Maybe Heavenly Agility just for the squad, help the team out.
I mean, I guess Heavenly Agility would help because then he could go Hasten Fatalis and continue the chase with that based off it as well. And the Juggle though, going to get hit by a wall is Zyhroes. He's a bit of a double tap there. Not enough to send him back to base though. These harpies are still about to spawn. There's no other people in the area. It's going to be a 2v2 man fight here.
Actually, yeah, I think the Heavenly Agility is maybe the right play because he's going to be dealing with 2 core warriors the whole game.
Yeah. That's a good point. Just get away from him as much
as possible. Kite. Yeah, he's going to need some serious kite potential.
And the one thing we'll see coming out from probably Realzx here, he's gone for that Soul Eater. I expect him to go for the Igval again. Against this lane, definitely useful. Stop the damage coming out from the Tele Assault as much as possible.
If you buy it in the 1v1 versus Freya, you definitely buy it in the 1v1 versus Guan Yu.
Yeah, for sure. Can we check in with minions killed so far? I just want to see how Chronos is doing in this lane because he looks like
just fine.
Well, it felt like he was pushing to the tower a lot by ManiaKK, but he's actually out farming him even though they've been under the tower most of the time.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of last hits.
Very, very important for him. A little bit of bonus gold.
Yeah, it's translated into a 10 gold advantage for old Chronos there, but that's about to expand as Paradigm has their eyes on the Gold Fury under 50% HP. It was a bait.
Good blink from Badgah. They went to all-in Badgah there as well, but he blinked away wisely, and it's actually forced a reset on the Gold Fury too. So Badgah showing his face and realizing, hey, up, there's danger. Blinks away.
Yeah, he actually baited Paradigm pretty well there. I mean, like, the second that they committed anything, he blinked away, and they ended up committing a lot to it.
But
Ultimate comes through from Fnatic. Zyhroes does a lot of damage with Through Space and Tim. Funballer, he's going to go down here. CaptainTwig moves forward nicely on the Freya. Repositioning is successful. Get some damage out, but he may go down to TrixTank if he looks to go for it. Realzx standing his ground against the decoy. He'll take a bit of extra damage. A Jingle Bang as well onto Zyhroes there. A double tap for his trouble. Zyhroes 50% HP, not going to be able to go back to the mid lane safely. But Nuwa has made her way all the way over here, and I don't know, LAwbster, how effective can you really be?
I don't really find much more than this. He's low on mana as well. He can get 1 or 2 spells off. Maybe the clay minions will help him support, but no, this fight's going to wash. I mean, he's right to rotate over here though, LAwbster, because he's pushed out mid lane already. There's no reason for him to stick around any longer.
Right, yeah, there wasn't another wave coming, so you make the rotation there. But now he's out of mana. He'll be back to the base as well, as will Janus. And Janus will actually end up getting the better of this now that he shinged out a little earlier.
Yeah, he did shing out early, and it was wise for him to do so. I mean, the one thing about that whole engagement too is Badgah got away, forced the elements, re-engaged, Badgah dies. But because of the way they re-engaged, he actually managed to pick up Funballer, which is definitely worthwhile losing support for that supposed hunter role.
Well, the Warlock Sash completed now onto Xalia's Chronos. And he is a happy camper as he takes his blue buff, goes back to the lane, and he'll continue farming up these waves and building towards those pen boots for Chronos. And closing in ever closer to being that late game carry that Chronos can be, but it takes a lot of items, a lot of time, and a lot of room to do it.
Well, he's had the room so far, right? He's just been able to farm up against ManiaKK. Can't really dive him under the tower. Still going to have rewind available if he needs to, if he's going to get aggressed on. It looks like they might be looking for a pick here, though, Paradigm, out of these left harpies. Maybe not, though. They would just like to see if there's a response. Zyhroes, we'll find out. We may see a fight over these two. Keep an eye on Badgah for the taunt.
And the Chronos and Freya picks are pretty interesting here.
They gave them up. Fnatic just chose to give them
the camps, yeah, they did. But the Chronos and Chronos picks are interesting, right? Like, I think the reason Paradigm picked the Chronos here is because Freya, they expected the Freya jungle out of the composition, and they were like, well, Freya can't kill anything out of the jungle. So we'll just take Chronos, who is a hard gank without chain CC.
Well, Tick up really can either, but good turn onto Qvo, looking for the aggression onto as well, into a great blink,
yeah, that
and
was
fearless coming out from ManiaKK.
Well executed, but the fight continuing on here. TrixTank will slow down a few. It's ManiaKK who's going to take a spill now as well, and that's a 1-for-1 trade. ManiaKK for QvoFred. The support, I'm sorry, the solo, a much more valuable kill than the jungler there.
Zyhroes does get out barely there in the mid lane as well as the aggression subsides there. But the big key for me is Xaliea got the kill. It would have been fine if Xaliea did not pick up that kill onto ManiaKK. He just accelerates his build. We discussed it. With ManiaKK being dead too and everyone grouped mid lane, look what he's getting to do. Free farm the solo again, put tower pressure on and start chipping away at it.
And Chronos kills towers really quickly with Accelerate.
Yeah, just pushes the button, down it goes. It's really fast.
Uh-oh, Badgah's in trouble here. If Cat's on hit.
LAwbster finds
that was just the worst thing that could have happened.
5 shots. That's the worst thing that could have happened.
Oh, no. Badgah made it through the portal. The Janus opened for himself.
Yeah.
And instead, Zyhroes goes down over the support. That's just bad. I mean, that's just kind of sucks. Like, that's definitely not what they were looking for. Now they're going to find Badgah as well. Fred, why did you not stun, buddy?
5 shots will save him. Now, though, after the double tap there, you go, you didn't need to stun. That's why Gold Fury has been reset.
He just knew.
Again.
He just knew.
By Funballer. He just knew.
He just knew.
He
was like, I'll just let him dash and hit the double tap, and then we'll fire charge him.
Yeah, trust in teammates. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I like it.
Really surprised, though, we're not seeing Paradigm try and do this Gold Fury still. They've just picked up Badgah as well. He's going to be down for a while, and they forced Zyhroes back. But I guess they're worried about the ultimates coming out with ManiaKK being around as well. It's a bit risky. 5-2 at Paradigm. They've got a gold and experience lead this time round, though, which was not like last game when we were talking about the lead.
Paradigm must be feeling pretty confident here because they're going to go for a very late Book of Thoth kind of quote-unquote rush onto Nuwa. You know, like often if you don't see it picked up as the first item, you won't see it picked up until later on in the build as just a mana-based steroidal item, but
for the most part, he's started to come back, though, as a third item after boots. Like, it's the first major item after boots. It's always boots first because of penetration and mobility, and then what's my first core item going to be? With Doom Orb not being available anymore, we don't see that anymore, and then there's also
but why not cooldown reduction on Nuwa? Why not just go for the Chronos pen boot start?
Because you're looking for the big burst damage more than anything from the ultimate from fire shots. Because you can use that before the fight even begins or after the fight to clean up, and you don't want to have to rely on that double tap as we saw from Qvo to secure the kill.
So just as much raw power as possible.
Pretty much, yeah. And just look, because you're safe enough anyway.
Makes sense. I would actually like to see Divine Ruin be the third item here.
We have seen it once or twice
from LAwbster. Not only is it extremely cost-efficient lifesteal item, it also does apply that anti-heal globally, and you're looking at a Freya and a Tyr and a Ram, all which will have lifesteal or have lifesteal in their kit or heals straight up. So I think that would be a nice little boon for Paradigm to help them out in the team fights a bit.
Twig's done a good job of farming here. Qvo is a level behind on him at the moment as well, as I think they got the left-hand Harpies as well there. So Twig doing what he needs to on this Freya and just continuing to farm up. Has Hasten Fatalis finished already. Will be working on Demonic Grip more than likely next as well. But I think they just spotted him back to base, and Paradigm now going to try and rush down this Gold Fury.
Well, this is what we thought of Titan, right? They basically took this lineup and they built a tremendous amount of anti-heal and just relied on their Sun Wukong, Guan Yu, and then they also have the core and Chronos that heals himself. So yeah, I'd really like the Divine Ruin. I'd like to see some weakening curses. I'd like to see him just walk at Fnatic and see how Fnatic can respond. Because, well, the short answer is they can't really. Fnatic can't take the 5v5 fight right now.
I mean, like I said, with the Divine Ruin, it's going to affect Freya. It's going to affect ManiaKK on that tier a little bit in terms of sustain. Other gods not as much, I guess, solely to a little bit onto Rama, but that's about it. There's not too much more that it's going to affect.
Oh yeah, it would be the Soul Eater, the passive lifesteal on the Freya, and the heal out of tier. All would be shut down going into the fight. And it would also dissuade Janus from moving into any lifesteal of his own. Not that he would like to anyway. Maybe a Bancroft Talon could be in the works, but unlikely, honestly, on the Janus. We've seen Bancroft Talon has really fallen out of favor dramatically this back half of this split.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why that is. I think it's also to do with the fact that because you hit level 5 a little bit quicker and you do your first trip back to base a little bit quicker, there's no mid-harpies at around 3 minutes.
You don't have that 1370 to get your Bancrofts too.
Well, you don't need 3 health potions either, because normally with Bancrofts you get 540 gold spent on it, so you get enough for 3 potions. You don't need 3 potions, you need 2 max.
Right.
And if you need more than 2, well, by the time you need to go back to base to heal up, you should have enough gold to finish your boots anyway. So why not invest that into something like, you know, the Lost Artifact, which will give you the mana regen and a little bit more damage. But it's still not a bad item. Bancrofts is still a fantastic, useful item. It's just not picked up.
Still very, very cost efficient for the damage output, especially when you're under 50% HP.
I think if we see the meta change a little bit more, we may see it come back again, where we see mids being left alone a little
bit maybe it's
longer.
just we don't see the Agnis and the characters that really rely on Bancroft's talent.
Agni still gets him for the most part,
yeah.
But he'll get it a little bit later on. It's normally boots for him, spear, then maybe Bancrofts afterwards.
All right, QvoFred going in on Thor. Transcendence build up.
We're trying to 3v1 tier under the tower. It's not really going to work out from tier. Very, very hard to pick up. Badgah just made the rotation as well to help out Twig here, because there was a lot of pressure shown on the side. And this is what Paradigm can do now that they got that first Gold Fury too. They can start swinging around the map and not have to worry about the threat of that being taken.
Paradigm's itemizing like they're really far ahead as well. Look at what they're building into.
I don't think they're worried right now. I mean, you can see that they've won most of the engagements so far. Even if they've actually had a bad engagement, they've gone 1-for-1. But hold on a second, as we do see Zyhroes has to use through space and time defensively and beads there, I believe.
Did he drop his beads? Well, no, beads still up.
He's still up. Okay.
Yeah, but that was, excuse me, great positioning by QvoFred there that sets up forces out the through space and time. So well played by Paradigm.
And now they're trying to siege mid lane. This is what Nubar's strength is right now. Once she hits mid game, those clay minions do actually reduce the protections of the tower as well, just like a normal minion would, which allows them to start putting the pressure on. But Fnatic well aware of it, and so they've got the Realzx over here.
Okay, so they're going to try to make the play now. In comes ManiaKK over the top, but Fred is out of that one. The last Ram Snipe does not hit, and now they've fought themselves into 2 warriors. But Funballer, he actually hopped on the horse the wrong direction, is forced to turn around, misses the stun, and so to answer your question as to whether or not he'd be as comfortable as Confrey on the God, very squarely, no. That was just a little bit of a lack of knowledge there. Fire Shot's not going to be enough, I don't think, to find this kill.
Not to kill anyone, but it will force them all back. I mean, there's only really Twig here.
No Gold Fury available. I mean, sure, they forced them back.
You can get the tier 1 tower at least, I guess, in the mid lane.
Can they? Without a Hunter?
No,
I don't know.
Guess not. Guess not. They're not going to be able to find it at all. But that was the key, Funballer, right? On Hunters, when we see AD carries try and play Warriors for the most part, it doesn't always seem to work out for them. Comfy was an exception to a rule, really, because he was from solo lane and he was used to playing those sort of gods anyway. It's a sort of different sort of kettle of fish more than anything else in terms of how it goes down.
Yeah, I mean, not saying that you should be excited if you see Funballer playing Guan Yu in your ranked games. I'm sure he's much better than all of us and anyone watching at home. But
no, he's terrible. I'm going to give shots now.
But you know, there, but you saw it, right? He cavalry charged in the wrong direction, tried to turn it around inside of that right side camp, didn't make it, missed the stun, then got stunned himself, then tried to dash through, missed the dash as well. And, you know, it's not, Guan Yu isn't like riding a bike. I mean, he's a fairly complicated character. His laning phase is really obvious and easy, right? You Talu Assault, sometimes you dash, often you heal. And that's pretty much it, right? And you're safe. And then you get into the team fights, and you really have to, it comes down to the finesse with cavalry charge, that ultimate.
The finesse is a big key. You land as many autos while you're on the horse as well, because it deals the most damage. If you can actually get all the autos off and connect with people, it also slows too, as they're being hit. So you've got to make sure you land those autos, and then obviously
it is also
when to dismount.
Very, very weird. Like the ability, the way it fires, how it works. You can hold S to slow it down. Your turning rate changes when you're slower. Like, It's like it's
a lot of people don't know if you actually press back while you're on the horse, it'll slow down the speed of the horse.
It's a difficult ability to use. I mean, right? I mean, like running in a straight line and stunning someone at the end of it.
Cool, easy.
Very simple.
Turning into hard circles, it's kind of like 72 transformations.
That's right. It's like hitting cat stun reliably 6 times in a row.
It's very, very difficult.
Very difficult.
But you just get the bonus of swinging his big old sword and
his Guan.
To be fair, he could also press heal and
Conviction is a good spell.
Still live. And heal his teammates at the same time. 5-2, Gold Fury still down, respawn in about 30 seconds. Gold lead, well, it's creeping up there to about 3,500, or nearly 4,000 gold now, experience at 4, as we see Paradigm starting to siege mid once again.
Twig's been a lot more active on the Freya than the Thor, which is really kind of curious.
He's a bit more of a threat, I feel, in terms of like just staying around and forcing the issue.
Knew bees were forced there with that taunt. That's should be the tip-off here for ManiaKK to actually look for Nuwa, and you can see ManiaKK moving forward, trying to cut her off.
Fnatic are trying to respond because that's
he missed.
Oh, he missed that big fearless. It takes a lot of poke from the fog as well, as the damage coming out from shinging metal.
It just seems really, really squishy.
Well, there's a blink engage with Badgah as well.
Even with the Rune Forge and Emerald, but yeah, you see the fight breaking out. Counter charge this time going to be very, very effective, stunning 2. ManiaKK going to go for the flip down in place. Back onto the backside is QvoFred, but it doesn't look like he has a stun available, and he's forced to hammer out as well. Who just rolled forward? Who is that?
That's Realzx.
Is that Realzx? Realzx, what are you doing?
Realzx is trying to get something to happen on the backside, but ends up paying for it as well as 2 members of the team now fall down. The Gold Fury just spawned at the same time.
Why do you think Realzx rolled forward and pushed forward there?
I think he felt like he could pick up a kill in trade. And
just trade for Qvo?
Potentially, yeah. It doesn't look like he was going to be able to find it, though. He will fall down. His ult was on cooldown as well as the focus was really onto Freya for the most part. Freya, CaptainTwig was on the front line. The rest of the team tried to disengage.
This is a big win for Paradigm. I mean, if they win this, they hold their second place spot away from Fnatic. So there's a lot on the line for them here.
Big thing for Fnatic. I mean, brings them right back into the squad, right back into things straight away. Because everyone was saying they've fallen off. They're fighting for 4th place with London Conspiracy now. If they beat Paradigm here, they're all square. The biggest news though for Fnatic is this is Paradigm they're facing. Their next opponent is Epsilon.
Yeah, back to the beginning of the season for them.
Exactly, and it's start all over again, but this time you got to face Epsilon. You've already lost to them twice. You can't afford to lose to them again, realistically. You want to try and show that, you know, the first time was a mishap. This time, though, they've got Epsilon.
Well, no one has showed that any mishaps on the side of Epsilon.
We've not seen a mishap on
Speaking of Epsilon, game of the week. This week will be coming up tomorrow. It's Epsilon versus Titan. Don't miss that one during the European broadcast tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
As long as we don't jinx them like you did to Titan yesterday.
The throws?
Well, you said, oh, Titan, very consistent team. We're like, well, they did drop that game against Justice. Like, yeah, well, they're still third, and the game's over.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, well,
yeah, they got commentator curse bad there.
Commentator curse yesterday. We might do that to Epsilon. I don't want to do that to Epsilon because they are the best team in Europe and the world right now because they're undefeated, which means Europe.
And they don't look like they're going to lose anytime soon.
Europe's the best region, right?
And so Europe is definitely the best region.
Definitely the best region.
We're just trying to jinx here, right? That's what's going on?
No.
You're being serious.
I'm just trying to touch out Europe.
Oh, wow, you're delusional.
Because, you know, and NA-wise, it's like, well, you had a team that hadn't won a game, so we're the best region, and now we've still got a team that is undefeated.
Undefeated, yeah.
So we're still the best region.
AFK versus Epsilon tomorrow. Who's your money on?
AFK versus Epsilon tomorrow?
Yeah.
Epsilon.
You take Epsilon over AFK?
Hands down.
Wow.
Emilito would just troll Allied so hard, and Allied would be like, guys!
It'll all go down on social media before the game.
Me, I need help! That's what'll happen.
I think it'll be, yeah. Kenneth, he's a good player, adapting.
Cyclone will play Odin into Hercules from Dimmy, and Dimmy will put him under the tower.
Dimmy did the same thing Omega did to him?
Yeah.
That was nasty. All right, here we go. This is the big engagement. Funballer actually wants to re-engage. The 4-man stun coming out from QvoFred as well, but not enough damage coming out to shit. Even with fire shards, they whittled down a lot of the members of Fnatic, but can they capitalize on this in any way? I don't believe they can.
That was a 3v4 though, but 3v4 because fire shots, technically if you take away the fire shots, it was a 2v4.
Oh yeah. No. I mean that was Guan you hopping off the horse and stunning one, and then the great engagement from QvoFred, and really credit to Fred for not dying there.
Now the sustain needs to come out from Fnatic because the boys of Paradigm can group up, use the conviction from Funballer, keep the pressure on the lane. You see.
Well, this is where they should just really like summon Wukong ultimate and walk in. Honestly.
You've got minions, you've got Chronos coming too. Teleports can be forced out as well by Tyr here to come over and defend. ManiaKK needs to be here. Turn onto TrixTank actually going to force the clone, which I don't think you really want, but they're going to try and pick up Realzx on the backside, who's very low on mana.
Oh, Twig got hit by a couple shots on that Tallow Assault, ripping away those protections that he has. He may die to Bluestone here. No, not enough ticks from TrixTank. Not enough TrixTanks.
TrixTank's not enough. LAwbster in the jungle now with the fog, just going to get his team out, but they're going to keep healing. The new minion wave comes in again. The tower is slowly being chipped at. They did dive in deep there, but very, very healthy at the side of Paradigm. And the boys of Fnatic, they're low on mana, and some of them low on HP as well.
The window of opportunity, though, for Paradigm is starting to close here. I mean, they don't want this game to go past 30 minutes. not versus the Rom.
Is it another one? You feel like this is another game like game 1?
No, I think that it's just very simply when you pick 2 warriors for your duo lane, you need the game to end sooner rather than later.
You do have the Chronos though as well. Though.
Yeah, but Chronos can't fight Rom late game. Not with a Freya. Like, Rom Freya outcarries everything, much less the Janus.
Well, I mean, last time Paradigm sent 2 guys after Realzx, right? This time they're going to send 3.
Will that be enough?
Qvo as well. And then they've still got Xaliea and backup as well for the 1v1
I mean, maybe,
fight.
sure. I mean, and now they can always win a team fight to win the game, but you don't want this to go late if you're Paradigm.
I agree, because there's also a Freya, which we've not spoken about.
There's the Freya, Janus, and Rom outcarries what is basically just
Xaliea
Chronos.
Yeah, I agree. Left side again, though. Paradigm going to siege up there.
Here we go, QvoFred. This could be a big play, because if they can secure a kill here and take a Phoenix on the left side, it could be really big. He'll find the 2-man stun. Cavalry charge is going to be used as well, but they're not going to go for Realzx. They will go for Realzx this time. Jumping off the horse a little bit late there was Funballer. Maybe a little bit of decision-making problem. They're going to try to get Realzx on the way down. They invest a lot into Xaliea, who ports out, and they don't actually get anything out of this. A nice nice rift there. Out of the Chronos.
They get the tier 1, they're all full health still. The boys
they'll take tier 2, yeah.
Fnatic go back up.
But they want to kills, because kill sets up Gold Fury here for them. They'll take 2 towers and maybe still the Gold Fury if they can find Twig. Twig is just made of paper as well, by the way. Look at that.
Had to ult as well to get out of there. He was really worried about continue. Oh, Realzx stuck around and got hit by Xaliea.
Oh, Realzx got greedy and Xaliea took advantage of it, and that's the big kill they were looking for. Now they push forward, they push a wave into the tower, then they move back, take a Gold Fury or Phoenix if they want it. Paradigm.
I keep going. I mean, Realzx is dead. They've been forcing them back to base again. They're still all full HP. There's another full minion wave coming in. They've got clay minions as well, tanking up the front line for them. ManiaKK in a little bit of trouble there, trying to do what he can, has to disengage. Meanwhile, so does Funballer, but he heals out the backside and heal himself back up again. As deep down is TrixTank, but he's got the clone.
You know, I got to tell you, like, the thing that I think really has changed Nuwa play in the professional level so much has been these players' ability to effectively use the 5th hit route. I see that now so often out of these top-level Nuwa players.
Is stacking it up and just holding it. That's the big thing, and not just throwing out the in-hands. Well, to be fair, as you actually level up as a mage and you get more abilities, you actually do a lot more damage with your in-hands. A lot of people underestimate that. As Twig gets caught, Twig's dead.
Yeah, no ultimate this time, and he's dead. And Fred was there as well, why not?
Just in case he had to secure it as well.
Threshold.
Actually, the wall onto Zyhroes.
Double tap on a 0, that's a 50% Janus. That makes this Gold Fury even more free. However, they have sold out for Realzx.
Look for Twig.
Realzx only level 16. They're going to try to make the play on the Fred on Stable Vortex. Hits the taunt as well. Shots from Realzx. Down he goes. Gold Fury will be traded for the kill on to QvoFred. And that's probably, both teams are probably happy with that. Fnatic probably couldn't aggress into the Gold Fury here. And Paradigm, they're happy to give up 1 member for a Gold Fury.
Paradigm's definitely the happy of the 2 in my eyes. More than anything, it's like, well, Qvo got caught anyway. Cool.
Yeah. Fnatic's not thrilled that they have to give up the Gold Fury, but they're okay with the fact they get a kill at least in return.
At least something on the board for themselves. 25 minutes in, 93. You can see the golden experience still continuing to go into Paradigm's favor. This game, though, like you said, maybe we're waiting for
a 4v5 underneath the Phoenix, and they got basically no damage onto the tower because of all their melees.
Very true.
So, can they actually break the base here? As this one continues to go later and later, Realzx getting ever closer to that 6th slot, still working on his executioner. He's very far behind the pace that he set last game.
Well, he's not even on 5th slot yet, so that's the big key.
Yeah.
He's got to get Rage online first, then Deathbringer. Meanwhile, across the way, we check in Chronos. Has Demonic Grip, Warlock Sash fully stacked, and the Book of Thoth as well. So
he's getting there.
Damage is very high.
He's getting there.
And to be fair, though, so is Twig.
Yes, but Twig, Freya has gotten just absolutely abused this game. I mean, she takes 1 ability, she's nearly dead, basically, is what's going on here. Anytime he moves forward, if he eats like 2 ticks of Tallow Assault and a Sun Wukong ability, he almost dies.
Well, this is the thing with a 3-man front line that we see from Paradigm versus a 2-man front line, which is basically Athena and ManiaKK.
It's been a while since we've seen that kind of... I mean, we see the Circuits here and there, and Thor, I guess, for 10 minutes of the game is this, but like we don't often see these like damage carry junglers these days.
I mean, Mercury's got off now. We don't really see him there very much anymore. There's no real other hyper carries you see other than Freya. And
well, Circuit kind of hyper carries, but it's so RNG based.
She has more control as well.
She's control based. She has tons of ganks. She's got really no bad game state. Circuit's a very, very good character.
Trix has to use his clone now. Definitely the white team in the jungle, though. They did find
Thor's up, and they haven't runched underneath the tier 2. Oh, wow. They're actually really lucky there as Fnatic. He didn't catch more than 1. QvoFred just a bit off the mark there. Unfortunate, as they could have potentially turned that into a bit more, but you know, you're never really comfortable when you stun tier, as his passive is that no stun will go longer than 1 second.
This is an opportunity for Fnatic, though, because they got 2 ultimates out of Paradigm for free then. Fnatic still have all theirs available. Beat was also used by Qvo then, so this should be an opportunity for them to try and get some aggression back on. They want to try and fight a pick. It looks, though, that Paradigm want to keep sieging, and they're going to keep the pressure on them.
The thing that's most notable to me between these 2 games for Paradigm is how well they have shut down Janus.
Yeah, the whole time. I mean, they tried to shut him down all last game too, but Zyhroes was just managing to get away every step.
But even
of the
still,
way.
like, there was a couple times that they killed Zyhroes, like when he could have been safe by like body blocking the wall, or they just played very well against the Janus. They covered the options really well, and they forced Zyhroes to play a way more kind of nipping at the edges game. And sometimes you'll see these Januses port right into the center of the fight, put their damage on everybody. It's just so much damage that they peel for themselves. Here, they've done a really good job of controlling and keeping Zyhroes in his box, and that's been a big key to the success here. But as I said, this game, their ability to win it is starting to diminish here. It starts becoming, well, rather, it starts becoming so much on the back of Xaliea and such little on the back of the Guan Yu Sun Wukong that you invested so heavily into in the dual lane. In fact, speaking of which, Funballer does go down. Charger used, QvoFred pops up into the sky. They get the vision out of this, and it's just Xaliea who's really alive here and a threat as down goes Funballer. He really is such the key to this team with the heals and the shred and the damage he can put out. And now, as Paradigm falls back, this is the mistake that we would see a lot of amateur teams make. They would recall the situation, giving Fnatic the Fire Giant for free. We don't expect Paradigm to do that here, but that being said, they still give Fnatic quite a bit of breathing room.
But you said this yourself earlier, and it's coming true now.
Don't tell me what I said.
Xalia's not focusing down the towers. That's the big key. He needs to. He's the only one that can really focus the towers down. And without him, they're not going to get the tower.
Well, you saw his positioning in that last fight, right? He wants to stay like...
He wants to stay too far back.
He wants to be Xaliea.
He wants to be Xaliea, but he can't be. He has to switch to the Hunter role right now.
He needs to not be Xaliea right now. He needs to be Funballer right now.
That tower should be like half HP by now, just based off how the fight went on there just beforehand.
Yes.
Positioning-wise.
Instead, he was looking for the backstab and to get
in position,
clean it up. You're not Bakasura today, Xaliea.
Didn't work out. And you saw Funballer. Well, he's already switched the role. He went to Aggressor to Engager for his team, which is what he wants to do. But they've not got the backline damage now because it's not playing as he should. Yeah,
Xalia's still playing this like a solo laner, where at this point, I mean, as you mentioned, he is the hunter and needs to play it like a hunter. He needs to have the same positioning as Realzx essentially in these fights. And the reason that fight fell apart, I agree with your analysis there, is that Funballer played the aggressor and Xaliea played the, well, I'm the solo laner. I come in at the end of the fight and kill everybody, right? And it's like, no.
It's not that way.
You're our only core remaining. You have to be here fighting.
Welcome to my world, said Funballer. What you used to do is hit the towers.
Yeah, all you're allowed to do is structure damage.
Yeah, just do the structure damage. That's all you're there for.
Can we take a look at the golden hand, please? I feel like Xaliea has been sitting on these items for some time.
He has, because he's got 3,200 left.
So that's a Rada.
Yeah. And that will just be a massive damage spike as soon as that comes through as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Chronos actually here.
There you go.
So 631 magical power now with the double stacking pen boots and the Rod of Djibouti.
So he's hitting critical mass as well. Across the way, we can see some defense coming out from CaptainTwig now. Looks like he's going for a Breastplate of Valor or potentially that Mail of Renewal. We'll see which one he chooses as he continues down the path of that one.
30 minutes into this one, missing active items on both teams. Probably not a great choice, one would say.
It's because they've been trying to rush damage more than anything else.
Yeah, but a bunch of shells would do a hell of a lot for Fnatic in this situation.
Quite possibly. We do see another Shield of the Underworld, this time on TrixTank. And on Guan Yu, you do see that Salvation coming out. We've seen that a couple of times.
Oh, they're actually fighting this. Paradigm's actually in. They're committing to this. Fnatic, nowhere to be seen just yet. I think Janus is just now spotted out. The conversation coming through on the side of Fnatic. Zyhroes puts out the Uncivil Vortex with Fire Giant now down to about 3/4 HP and reset from Paradigm. They want to fight. Funballer hasn't hopped on the horse just yet, but Zyhroes takes a ton of poke.
Had to beads as well to get through that portal, which was the biggest thing. ManiaKK is in a bit of a predicament here, but he is tier after all, so very tanky. Real's now here.
Look at Xalia's positioning in this fight. Now he's positioned a bit more like the Warrior, but still being very reticent to actually move in and do anything. He uses the Accelerate, but they get banished out by Twig as well, taking away some of the time, and now it's a disengage for Paradigm as they've lost their big damage potential spell on their Hunter, quote unquote. ManiaKK, he continues to charge forward as Paradigm heals up. Curiously, no anti-heal either on the side of Fnatic. Even fighting like Guan Yu could spell disaster later on. Like if they lose one more fight in this situation, that healing could keep them alive, even if it's close.
But the healing's been the impact for Paradigm so far anyway. They just continue to siege up, keep healing themselves with Conviction, lowers the cooldowns of Funballer, means he can get more Tallow Assaults off and Master Swells as well if he's required to.
Here we go. Cavalry Charge has been used. Funballer going to try to push them off the tower. This time Xaliea is putting the tower damages. Nope, he's moving forward for the kill. Oh, there we go. Okay, thank you.
Back he goes. Meanwhile, War comes out on the backside from Quvo, trying to buy time.
That should be a kill onto Realzx.
Realzx is dead.
Okay, good. They do get the kill on the Realzx. If Realzx would have gotten out of that one somehow, I don't know. All hope. Everything that I know would have been a lie.
Would have been a little bit too crazy for it. They do get the tier 2 though. Fire Giant is available with Realzx being dead, and all the ultimates apart from 2 used on the side of Fnatic, they could potentially just.
Yeah, I think they're at least going to go sniff at the Fire Giant.
Bait this one out.
No, I mean they're going to maybe start it up. It's probably the same thing we just saw in the last engagement. They have the 1 kill advantage. It's on one of the biggest damage dealers on the side. It's just Zyhroes that's really a threat now. So as long as they keep an eye on Zyhroes and isolate him, they'll be okay. Yeah, and TrixTank, yep, he'll be able to zone him out. This should be relatively free for them. You can see on the bottom side of the map, Guan Yu zoning out 3. And no, Fire Giant was reset. So
Zyhroes did the right thing. He did what he needed to do, used the pause. He was very patient with that as well. Didn't really panic with his pause. Just threw down a threshold. Was like, okay.
Reel's up in 13 now. Fire Giant started again. Nicely stalled by Fnatic this time around, though.
Yeah, really good, but maybe they might get picked in the jungle later.
Oh, this is big. This is big. Can they force out Maniac's ultimate here? Does he have the ultimate? He does indeed. Cavalry charge used there, doesn't find anything. QvoFred goes too deep into the backside. He may get picked before he can actually even get his spells off. Oh, the Guan Yu heal. The Guan Yu heals, but did it there. He still does go down to CaptainTwig, but that could have gone just tragically bad.
He's still tragically bad.
Zyhroes was actually porting in Twig. They thought the TrixTank was trying to zone him out, but instead they poured in Twig.
Fnatic win this fight massively now because LAwbster's going to fall down. Wow. They're all too low on HP. Trix has got to run away in the backside. Meanwhile, they're still chasing Xaliea, who has nothing, and neither does Funballer. Badgah's got a taunt here. This could be almost a deicide. Snipes!
Oh, please. Oh, please. I just wanted it so bad for me. Not even for Marcus, but just for me. I wanted that.
Funballer doesn't actually get caught because of the taunt. He was missed by Badgah.
Okay, so Fnatic maybe over-chasing their Reels. Yeah, now he will smartly go back and start the Fire Giant up. This is what they need, and this is where and why Paradigm needed to win this game before 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think this is a bad call for them to keep chasing, though, because now they can all rotate in. You've got ManiaKK on zone injury. They pushed them so far back, they couldn't recall in time to try and defend this Fire Giant. He's going to go to Fnatic for free. And
there's a Fire Giant, and now can we take a look at the graphs, please? There's going to be about 8,000 gold going back the way of Fnatic after they clean up all these towers. Yeah, so a lot of gold remaining on the map for them to clean up.
Tier 1's Gold Fury, that'll be
assuming they can just check the boxes and execute here, this is a dead even net worth game now after the Fire Giant buff.
And once again, Paradigm have done pretty much the same thing. They had a really good start to the game, went off to a flyer, but it's the boys of Fnatic that are the ones on top.
Well, what's really got to be frustrating for them watching this one back is that they picked the Chronos to very specifically shore up the deficiency that this dual lane has, which is that your tower damage is butt because you're running so many melees. But then Xaliea, a couple times in a couple key team fights, doesn't actually go for the structure damage. They don't get enough pushes. They're not knocking on the door of the base. Well, very notably on the left side, Phoenix, when they're fighting into the Phoenix in a 5v4, they get no Phoenix damage done. Can we actually take a look at structure damage dealt? Haha, he already knew. Leading the team still, but it just hasn't been there. Like, they haven't done enough. Right? Regardless of what that number says, they haven't done enough.
They've had the opportunity to take him down, but the one thing that Paramount's been doing is they've been looking for the kills instead of taking down the structures, which they could have done.
I guess, but it's only 16 kills in a 34-minute game. Like, it's not like they've been doing that particularly well either.
They've looked for him, but they've been beast away. They've been fighting the whole time, not been able to find the kills.
Well, there's just so much control inside of Fnatic. There's the Banish, there's the Tier lockdown, there's the Zyhroes lockdown, there's the Athena lockdown. Realzx even get crippled.
Can we bring up healing done as well? I just want to see how much Funball is on this game, because I feel like that's a big impact.
Yeah, the healing is 22k out of Funball.
22,000 as Guan Yu. People say he's not a healer.
Well, that's going to be, you know, when Fnatic watches this one back, they're going to see this come up on the charts and be like, we should buy anti-heal against Guan Yu.
Space and Time was big.
Maniac had a lot of trouble, but he ults out. Yeah, Space and Time did a ton. Freya pumping damage into the tower, but she doesn't get much done either, and somehow it looks like that Paradigm is going to hold. Fnatic gets one tower out of their Fire Giant buff. This is like a huge win for Paradigm, but it's stalling what could be the inevitable still.
But look at that. Conviction came out, and they're all back to full health. They've not even had to recall back to base. The burst from Zyhroes was really strong then, but with no one dying, it just allows Conviction.
Yeah, he's also gone for the old shenanigans salvation play that we saw.
He didn't even use it then, though.
No.
Not yet. He's not had to use it. We've got Shield of the Underworld as well, so 2 Shield of the Underworlds now for the boys of Paradigm. Still not full active on the left-hand side. Is now cavalry charges popped. He's looking for Twig, who has to use the ultimate. Changes his attention to Badgah, who does manage to get out of it.
This is a big ultimate from Thor. If he lands it in the right spot, could be good.
He's always going to the backside.
Yeah, he's gone way deep on all these fights. QvoFred not looking to stun on a single target, really looking to set up the big wall.
The fight's still going on.
But not there. Now Fnatic is the one with the big HP advantage, and they can resurge in. Sun Wukong ultimate is down, remember. If they can isolate him, they're in a great spot. Maniac will get the Fearless Chain onto said Sun Wukong. TrixTank is down, and now it's QvoFred starting to fall as well, although the return kill comes up, healing him back up with that Mail of Renewal. Maniac still trying to make the play. He has the blink. They get the taunt onto Funballer. Zyhroes does get credited for that kill, and now here comes the rest of Fnatic. The stun out on the 2 from Xaliea will stall them for the moment, and now they need to turn their attention to structures and go ahead and pick up this gold that's sitting on the map for them.
It's a tier 2, but I don't think it's going to be a Phoenix. LAwbster is still in the area, going to have Fog and Clay minions.
I don't know. They have no frontline presence now. It's just a QvoFred, and Thor, regardless of his itemization, just isn't that resilient.
I didn't think we'd see LAwbster get picked up, but Badgah just came in, got the big taunt off, and that's just going to force the Phoenix.
This could be game. It could be game. I don't think they'll go for it, but I think they have it. I think they have it.
To be fair, you get Xaliea and QvoFred.
It's all the well, yeah, you see Chaos Titan, 13,000 HP, right? As you take down the structures, it'll end up going down under 10k once you get all the structures. So that's really the real reason they aren't going in, but I think that they may have been able to win there.
I think they could have potentially done it. It would have been messy or a potential throw opportunity, especially with the respawn time has been so long. If they all died then and the boys of Paradigm respawned, they just watch down.
Yeah, no, Paradigm doesn't have the
Janus.
Janus. And they haven't taken a Phoenix yet, so, you know. They don't even have the half HP Phoenix to push into. I don't know. Risky. I mean, it certainly is risky. High reward there, though. But I think it was a pretty small amount of risk, honestly. It was 40 seconds remaining on the lowest respawn time there.
They're going to play it safe, though. Return to base, 50 seconds on the Fire Giant respawning again. Head back to that, set up a base.
Yeah, and they're about 1,000 gold off now. They've completely recouped the gold. Experience is going to be quite close as well, and Fnatic starting to turn the corner here. And well, this is one of the really isolated, you know, flavor of the month style metas that we've seen in Smite that actually has this very meaningful early game versus late game differential without gods like Kali being popular. I mean, it's rare that you see this big of a disparity between the first 30 minutes and the second 30 minutes of a game. The
big key of it is the jungler combined with the dual lane, right? You've got a Thor there. When Thor, Wukong, and Guan are on the table together, this is what forces the early versus late game scenario. If it was somebody different in the jungle, like you said, Kali, for example, if that would have put Kali in the jungle, maybe different story. It would have been a sustained, decent early game into a late game transition for Kali to be the carry for the most part. They've got Chronos this game, but it's not working out as they intend more than anything else.
Xaliea is 4-0-3. I mean, we keep on kind of saying, like, oh, Xalia's not going to get done. I mean, he's got the most structure damage on the team. He's got the most kills. He's doing his thing.
He's 4-0-3, but he's still got to deal with Rama that's not even reaching full build, and Freya. He can't 2v1 both of them.
And what's also fun is that, like, the duo lane successfully did shut down Ram really, really well. Even though we were saying, like, Wukong isn't really having the impact that we saw out of Titans running of this composition, Realzx is still really far behind.
Yeah,
like,
he's 1-3. He's not had the
his net worth is the lowest in the game.
But to be fair,
no, just ahead of the enemy support.
When you're constantly being shut down and focused by your team, you need the rest of your team to rally around and try and find the things, and that's what we're kind of looking for CaptainTwig to do. They're starting to make the impact though, Fnatic, and they've got this game in their advantage for me right now with how late it's going.
Yeah, no, this is Fnatic's game to lose now, I would say.
Let's see if they can hold on to it. ManiaKK going to zone them off. Twig going to run the side.
This banish could be a big deal.
All those slows just impacted Trig so badly that Trig's going to have to use the Cloud early in that fight. He didn't really want to do that. Meanwhile, now Realzx might try and take a step forward and look for a kill.
Yeah, TrixTank gets in trouble here. His ultimate is down. The control comes through from the tier. The shell comes out as well. Healing Conviction going to help some. CaptainTwig, you can see he just can't fight anybody. I mean, if he's not doing damage and getting the lifesteal, he is dying nearly instantly. ManiaKK takes a ton of damage from the double tap there from Fred.
He will be able to heal it up though as well. I mean, he is a tier after all. Just go to the lane and hit some minions with his abilities, and it'll all be good. Watch it. There we go. Back to full health. All good.
Where's the Divine Rune on Nuwa? Come on. Don't make me look so stupid, LAwbster. It's a good item here. I promise. 25,000 healing done by tier.
Would you build it now, though?
Guan Yu. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Why now?
Why now? Especially now.
Conviction. Last item. Oh, the second up cavalry charge coming out. Going to be slowed down onto CaptainTwig, but Funballer took a lot more crit damage.
Erased by the double hunters.
The crit damage.
Goodbye, and maybe even good game here, unless Fnatic give this one away somehow, as ManiaKK controls two. I think that's the first ultimate that I've seen out of Xaliea so far this game.
So QvoFred tries to find Zyhroes and doesn't manage to find on the backside as Realzx takes to this guy looking for the snipes. Can't actually find the attacks, and Realzx is going to go down and trade to Qvo now. And Xaliea is doing work, but he's very, very low, and now Zyhroes is hit.
Well, with Realzx going down, this does stall out Fnatic's opportunity to pressure much more than this. If they find TrixTank here, they will, indeed. Okay, Badgah gets the kill there. Fred, he's going to port forward from ManiaKK. They're going to port in the Athena as well. They really want the Dia side here.
They got 5 minions pouring down mid now for this week in Phoenix as well.
Nicely played there.
If Qvo goes down...
Hey, Fred, nice little play there, Fred.
Qvo stays alive. Mid Phoenix is going to fall in trade, though. The right side, we're going to see the minions pouring in there, too, so you should be able to get both Phoenixes. Respawns are over 40 seconds. This could be the game here, actually.
Well, Funballer will be up in 15. QvoFred just somehow has to stall out. He uses the wall. The Titan, as you can see, now 11,000 HP instead of the 13,000 he had at the base. Down goes QvoFred. LAwbster, Funballer not going to make it up in time. This is game number 2, going the way of Fnatic. Paradigm, they dropped the first game. Second game, they tried to go for a pocket strat that we saw run very successfully by Titan. Not going to get enough done, unfortunately. Don't get the structure damage out in time, and they give 2 games to Fnatic. And Fnatic is now tied for second place.
Yeah, and Fnatic did a good job of coming back from the early deficit both times in fairness in terms of kills. First bloods both going the way of Paradigm once again. Paradigm playing their strategy, but it just didn't pay off in the later stages.
Here's your first blood again. Cavalry charged, and the Thor ultimate coming through as well was enough to secure that one. Sorry?
Looked hard. All press 4.
Yeah, everyone presses 4 and get a kill. Who knew?
That's what works in the duo lane for the time being. But as the game went on, Realzx did really well, but so did Zyhroes.
Yeah, Zyhroes will be your player of the game here this one around. The Janus factoring very heavily in both of the victories here. Let's take a look at the highlight reel from young Zyhroes.
And this is the thing with Zyhroes as well that you have to realize is that it's very difficult to actually keep him pinned down. And when the team tries to pick him off, if he can stay alive, people waste a lot on him, and he can still come back to the engagement later on, reposition himself, and force a lot of issues. Not just his damage, but his utility is what really makes him so useful in teamfights.
Yeah, his repositioning in this game especially was really, really good. I mean, he had two big-time frontline warriors that were coming and gunning for him and the other DPS and Realzx. And yeah, he did a good job. Only dying one time there. I mentioned it about halfway through that game that how much they were investing in trying to keep the Janus out of the fights and how often Zyhroes was forced to like ultimate away from situations in which maybe other players would have been a bit more aggressive. But that does do it for our second game out of Europe, and we do have the interview on its way. It is ManiaKK. Wow, are you there?
What up, boys?
Hey, man, how are you? Congratulations on second place.
Thank you. I'm feeling great.
I bet
after
you
that
are.
win.
Yeah.
So you pushed Titan down to 4th now. You've got Epsilon next week.
Ooh.
What are you feeling about that one, ManiaKK?
I mean, Epsilon is a really strong team, but I mean, we'll give our best to win against them. But you know, they still haven't lost, but we'll try to give them their first loss.
Just another day in the office for you guys, huh?
I guess so. I mean, we had a rough start this season, but I guess this last, like, I'd say like 3 games, we managed to pull off some good wins. So we're doing good now, I think.
Yeah,
so ManiaKK, I mean, we saw you guys in game number 2, right? This is now the 3rd time that we've seen this composition, this Guan Yu plus 1 warrior duo lane composition. You know, were you guys? It seems like the main strength of this lineup is discouraging the enemy team because of how dominant it is through the first 15 minutes. Can you talk to us a little bit about like playing against that, what the comms were like coming out of the duo lane, and did you guys feel confident that if you took the game late that you would win in game number 2?
To be honest, I mean, we were confident throughout the entire game, but they kind of took it like at the beginning like a kind of big lead, I would say. Like they even got FG and we were sieging our towers. It was kind of rough, but then we managed to stall. That was our objective, just stall the game, and then we managed like to get like a really good fight on right lane. They tried to dive us, I think. So, and then like from there we just won the game. So yeah, just the plan was just get a late game.
With the tier pick that you picked up as well, we've not seen too much tier just lately. Was it because of the 3 warriors the 2 warriors and the assassin that we saw coming out, and you weren't sure who was going where, or was it just planned from the outset you were going to go tier that game?
Well, to be honest, I just thought it was Guan Yu solo. That's why I picked it.
That's what I thought so too. I was like, I guess he thinks it's Guan or just one of those warriors.
Yeah. So, I mean, the all things told here for Fnatic, it's been, yeah, as you mentioned, a rough start to the season, a nice back half to the first half of the season, and now we turn around and do it all again. You got Epsilon coming up, but you got the games that you lost early on in the season. You now got a chance at redemption here. Are you guys looking to like bring, you know, pocket strategy to the table? It seems like Fnatic's been a team that hasn't really picked a lot of shenanigans. It's been very, very straightforward drafts from you guys and just a high level of execution. Is that something you say would characterize your team, or do you think that's just what has been presented to you in the pick and ban phase?
I mean, I won't say much. I just say maybe we'll bring something new to the next half of the split. Maybe, who knows? I just hope we win against Epsilon, and maybe we'll bring something new.
I'd love to see Zyhroes play something besides Janus at some point this split.
Vulcan.
Maybe we'll bring some Vulcan or Thanatos. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Some Vulcan.
Certainly hope so, guys. You can find ManiaKK at Fnatic ManiaKK with 2 Ks on Twitch as well at ManiaKK42. ManiaKK, any final call-outs or shout-outs before you go?
Thanks for all the fans who stick with us, even with the rough start, and then thanks to my team because they played great today, and yeah, that's it.
They sure did, and thanks to you, ManiaKK, for coming by.
Played very
and
well.
that does do it for game number 1 out of Europe, ladies and gentlemen. I will be conceding my desk spot over to Brandon as we move into the second game today. Hindu Man, any thoughts?
Justice and Myrmidon.
There it is, Justice Myrmidon's coming up next, guys, with Brandon, Hindu Man. That does it for me today. And North America coming up later as well. That does it. We'll see you in just a few minutes with game number 2.